Well, hello and happy Saturday. Cynthia Gordon representing Whole, women helping others live empowered. I'm full on this here Saturday. And this has been brewing, this message, because I actually did it live for the women in my group. But please understand, these messages are not just for women. Um, and I pray that you listen and get something out of it. Today, I will be reading from a book that my little trusty book that I like to read from. But before I even read, understand, and I say it often, everything is a lesson for us. This is not Cynthia's got it all together, and certainly this one I am failing often and working diligently not to fail, if that makes any sense. Before I can even finish this lesson, which again I did live with my group, things just left and right. Causing me to see just how much this is needed. So, without further ado, let me read it and then I'll go back into let's talk about it. The title of the message, Forgiving Those Closest to You. If he has wronged you in any way or owes you anything, charge it to me. I, Paul, write this with my own hand. I will repay it, and I won't mention that you owe me your very soul. Yes, my brother, please do this favor for the Lord's sake. Give me this encouragement in Christ. And that comes from Philemon 1:18 through 20. And Paul is saying, hey, if my brother has done something, if he's done something, if he owes you anything, let me take care of it. Charge it to me. I got him. I am my brother's keeper. And I ain't even gonna mention, hey, homeboy, I'm gonna pay you back for him. And I ain't gonna even mention that you owe me your very soul. Man, that's deep. That is so deep. And I'm gonna read this page, but this is so much my lesson. My lesson. Because I am honest and transparent about who I am. Up in this here Gordon house, I can be rough. I have very little patience with the one I'm supposed to be in love with. He can't catch a break. And it doesn't mean that people aren't wrong. That's not even what Paul is saying. He's saying if he owe you something, don't worry about it. I'm going to pay it back. For Christ's sake. Ooh. Can we do that with people? I'm going to read this page because, ooh. Isn't it interesting how those we love the most have the power to hurt us the most? For those of us with children, we may find they know exactly how to push our buttons. That was the case for Marcy, a mother whose adopted son had hurt her deeply by his defiance, disrespectful disrespectful behavior. One day, after he had thrown yet another tantrum, Marcy asked God to help her to let go of the unforgiveness she felt. She began reading Paul's letter to a slave owner by the name of Philemon. Paul was begging Philemon to welcome back a runaway slave named, I want to say Onesimus. I know I'm messing it up for you Bible scholars, but you get the point. Who had stolen from his master while he was with Paul. Wanamus, Onimus had become a believer. words Paul spoke to Philemon jumped out at her. If he has wronged you in any way or owes you anything, charge it to me. I will repay it, and I won't mention that you owe me your very soul. Marcy felt as though Jesus was using the lips of Paul to speak directly to her. With tears running down her cheeks, she forgave her son on the spot, deciding that forgiveness would characterize her dealings with him from now on. Each time he offended, she would forgive again, silently praying, Jesus, I charge it to you. Because she was able to forgive her son, he didn't suffer from her judgments anymore. Eventually, he gave his life to Christ. If you have been hurt by your children or someone close to you, take a moment now to take your disappointments to God, asking Him for the grace to forgive. Ooh, I love that word, grace. Then ask for the strength to keep on forgiving. Lord, I forgive. And this blank in the book is so long. Put all the names in this blank. Put all your names that you need to forgive in this blank. Help me to keep forgiving, trusting the results to you. Man, this is so powerful, people. I hope you're getting it. Yeah, it's the people closest to you that hurt you, that disappoint you, um, and that unfortunately, from the jump, even when it's once, we don't have patience enough. I'm just going to say me. I don't have patience enough. I know that some of it is, I expect you not to do this. I expect you to know better. I expect you to know me. Whatever the case may be, we find ourselves offended inside of our homes or our circles, and the people that we love the most can't catch a break. Same thing could happen outside of our homes, and because the offense is not the same when it's a casual acquaintance, we give those closest to us the harder time. And we've got to do better. And we got to remember just how much grace we operating in, just how many times we fall short, and God has already sent Jesus to take care of it for us because he loved us enough. He loved us enough to forgive our future sin. What? When you think about that concept and really understand it, we got to do better, people, at forgiving one another. We got to do better at treating those that we say we love better. Now, what's awful is it doesn't say that your family member, close person, friend, whatever, son, daughter, spouse, has not done something or does not owe you something. It doesn't say that. It says just charge it to Christ, basically, because he really already paid for it anyway. But can we give each other grace? Can we give each other grace? It's and again, I'm still talking to me. I taught this lesson a couple of weeks ago. I've fallen short in my own house. Transparency. Ain't no need of me fronting for y'all. I be messing up. And I'm just going to say it. My husband be catching hell. It doesn't mean that he didn't do some stuff or didn't or did do some stuff, whichever the case may be. So did I. And so will I tomorrow. We have just got to do better. And it seems that as the lessons that I try to call myself teaching, they be real life in my house. And then I've been watching my family members. I watched two cousins have an actual fight. An actual, you pushed your cousin down on some BS. We got to do better. We've got to do better. I was so disappointed. Not only because we were at a repast for our aunt who never fought. Rest in peace, Auntie Anna Mom, who was the epitome of grace. And to see cousins, we love each other. We family. What's the expression? We all we got? This is not about one person, not about who was right or who was wrong. It really is about grace. It really is about forgiveness. It really is about, let's watch that being so offended by everything. Because which one of us hasn't done something? I was talking to someone and used this analogy, or just basically telling a story about how mean people can be. If you ever shifted lanes and somebody was in your blind spot, if you've driven any amount of time, you've done that before. We all have. So if somebody does it to you, can you not cuss them all the way down the freeway? Can you just give them grace? And it could be something that simple that we lose it over things and we just go off, and everybody's dealing like with so much animosity and anger that we have these fights. Do you know there's some things that you say to people you'll never be able to ask forgiveness for? That's the last time you're going to talk to them. Is it really worth it? But I love this scripture, and I love Paul. He says, charge it to me. I'll repay it. How about we do that? How about we just say, Lord, you got this. When they're not acting the way you think they should, when they made this mistake or continually make a mistake, God, I'm going to give this to you. You said charge it to you. I'm going to say, I'm going to charge it to you. I'm going to say, yeah, God going to take care of that. And even in the story that I read, as Marcy learned, when she stopped getting on the boy and she stopped riding him, God took care of that thing. Maybe we ought to trust him more. How about that? And this is such a powerful word. And again, I make no bones about it. All lessons are for me, whether I've already learned it or I'm going through it. But I know who I am, and I can be honest with that, with myself. I pray you do too. Are you harder on the people in your house? Are you harder on the people you love? And even the ones not in your house or that you don't love. What do you know about grace? Can people find it with you? If anybody owes you something, are you hounding them? Even though you may owe everybody, every creditor, every whatever. But somebody owe you a dime and you just won't let them breathe. We just got to do better, people. In this world that we are living in, and God, I thank you for every day I wake up. But it's tough. Everywhere you look, people are going through. And if you're watching this, you probably the people. Everybody's going through something. Health, money, whatever it may be. And the last thing we need is to be fighting our loved ones, especially. God forbid. God forbid. I pray that this page resonates with you. I pray that you can even hear the emotion in my voice and it resonates with you. That the next time you have an opportunity to choose, and every day we have a choice, but every situation we have a choice. We don't have to react to everything, even that people do, or say. Don't react to everything. Take your time, think about it, and then when necessary, give your response. And be clear of the difference. That reaction is built off of emotion. And sometimes you need to step back and not be led by your emotions. This thing called life is beautiful, but it's also hard. Excuse me. Let's do better. We have got to love harder. Please forgive me, and I'm not doing this whole video over. We need to love people. We need to operate in grace. This idea of holding people over the stakes, let it go. Let it go. I pray this all made sense. I pray the next time you're offended by someone, hurt by someone, forgive them whether they ask you to or not, because it's for you. I love you. Let me hear what you think in the comments. Have a happy Saturday on purpose.